Yeah. Hello? I don't even get a hey, huh? Look, I'm just trying to take a load off. I'll call you after. You think I'm just sitting around? Ain't nobody just playing around the house all day. Well, I've been on a job hunt for a month. You act like it's been a year. So as soon as I don't got $1 in my pocket, it's F me, huh? F you. F you. See, I knew you was a gold digger. I don't even know what I got with you. Who ain't have no gold to dig? You conniving piece of... Hello? Hello? I played house before. I'm sure you probably know a thing or two about that. What I neglected to realize was the weight of trying to be that provider man the world talks about so much. I was young and dumb, and I ended up in a trap, a stereotype none of us were meant to be like. Yeah, this is part of that story. I was green, fresh out of high school at 18. At the time, I worked for DoorDash and I kind of had a non-existent career as an online comedian. I mainly posted skits, got paid a few times, grew a following, got banned, but that's another story. This is about the relationship that broke me. I was collecting unemployment during the pandemic, and I had the bright idea to move out of my mom's house and get an apartment downtown. I felt on top of the world at that point. But honestly, I ended up in a very toxic situation. My emotions were in constant flux. I had to deal with a wave of anger and sadness like I had never felt before. You would think I would have knew the value of signing your name on a dotted line, but it took me all of but 1 month of heartache to look at that apartment lease and said, especially the fancy ones, even if you die, we want our bread still. And that was shock again. I was spending a lot of time having sex, smoking and drinking, but it took me one look in the mirror to realize that all of it was a cry for help. I felt trapped, under contract, and in an on and off relationship. I don't even know if it was more than fun buddies who had nothing in common after the first few minutes of friction. I didn't really think over my position or how unhappy I was. I just had a thought. Is this it? It wasn't. I decided I wasn't sad. The city just had nothing for me. And with a ton of pressure from my ex, I decided to move to another city and get a spot there. It was basically an agreement to work while she finished up college, and she would pay something and I would handle most of everything. It was fine, at least it was until war began to break out. I wasn't reading my Bible, but there's a verse that says it's better to be on the roof of a house than to live with a quarrelsome woman. And I can tell you that's 1,000% correct. Everything was an argument. Everything was a problem. Laughs were few and far in between, and yelling picked up by breakfast time. I was all alone in a new city, trying to work on my comedy skills, but I was really laughing from the pain. And I had a job as well that was causing me to feel depressed. But honestly, I was just in sorrow. I had days I wanted to pick up and run away, not exist, even asking God to. I fought to hold on to a house financially as I was being emotionally manipulated, dragged down, abused, and I was at my wit's end, banging my head against the floor, yelling one day because of the complete agony of all the bickering. But God called out to me from a guy who just came to my job. I saw the golden light of the Lord lay on him, and I knew I wanted that. Whatever he had, I needed that. It was peace. It would have to be a whole testimony to walk you through all of it, but I found my way back to God. And since then, I made it out of the trap. What I didn't know I wanted, in fact, what I didn't know I needed, was truly just a little bit of happiness. I didn't know that I needed a fresh start. I needed a beating heart and a girl, not just a place to turn to for physical connection, then turn around and hate being around each other later on. I wanted care. I wanted a safe place. I wanted love. I had to find out what that was with God first. Then after a little time, more like after 2 years, I discovered what it was to love my life. I could be happy with the smallest of things. And I ended up praying for God to give me back my innocence. The one that I had as a child. The love, the care, the nature that I had when I was young, where everything was already enough. Once I did, everything changed for me, as my heart was filled with more joy than I ever knew possible. I became humbled. I found work for the kingdom of God as my love, and I began to do it fully, with my whole heart in it. I locked in and loved God more than anything, and once I did, He sent me one of His daughters. So I pray you give up the urge to stay trapped in that lawless relationship where she yells, fights, and destroys everything around her because she is yet to heal. She's broken, trying to use you to fix her. And I pray you stop bonding with trauma and bonding with a girl's body to avoid the deep changes necessary for you to truly be worthy of the time of a good-hearted woman and keeping your baggage out of it. Until then, bro, be blessed from above. I lift my hands in praise, and I come to praise you. Through the good and the bad, I'll praise you. Whether happy or sad, I'll praise you. No matter what I have, 'cause praise is what I do, and I owe it all to you. Hey, don't matter how it happened. Got enough. I got more than enough. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. What the? Try to have a serious moment. Roach invaded. We got him out of there though. I'm gonna see y'all next time.